I called off my engagement after my fiancé asked to pause our relationship so she could see if there was anything left with her ex. Instead of waiting, I sold our house, disappeared off the grid, and started a brand new life she never expected. I called off my engagement after my fiancé asked for a pause to see if anything was left with her ex. I sold the house and went off the grid. Hey everyone, after what feels like ages, 27M, figured it's time to share what's been going on. Until recently, I was convinced I was marrying my person. Tessa, 26F, and I were together for years, and I honestly thought we were solid. Now I'm here wondering how I missed the signs. We met at a birthday party through a mutual friend. She was funny, self-assured, and had this straight-to-the-point vibe I really liked. I'd dated before, but no one clicked with me like she did. We moved fast, moved in after a year, and everything felt easy. We talked careers, marriage, kids, felt like we were aligned. She freelanced as a graphic designer. I'm a project manager in tech. Our routines matched. Nothing flashy, but it worked. We tossed around the idea of getting married for a while, and last year I finally proposed. Low-key dinner at home. Just us. She looked over the moon. Tears, a hug, a yes. That same night we were dreaming up a fall wedding, small guest list, cozy lake venue. It felt like the pieces were landing perfectly. At least, that's what I thought. The first warning signs were tiny, almost invisible. I brushed them off because I didn't want to overanalyze. Tessa's early wedding hype started fading. At first, she was all in Pinterest boards, dress ideas, even asking me tulips or roses for centerpieces. Then it all just slowed. I'd ask, picked bridesmaids yet? And she'd shrug it off. Not yet, still deciding. Same with the dress, cake, music. Every plan we were buzzing about turned into something she wanted to delay. There's time, she'd say. The whole wedding felt like an afterthought. I told myself it was stress. Wedding planning is a lot, right? And she had client work piling up. I figured the spark would come back. What I didn't realize was it wasn't about the wedding. It was about us. The real gut punch hit during a night out with friends. Someone brought up that dumb TikTok challenge, answer personal questions without reacting. Harmless enough until someone asked, if you could relive one relationship, which one? Without thinking, Tessa said, probably Dylan.
Just like that. Dylan.
Her college ex. The guy who cheated on her. The second she said it, the room got weirdly quiet. She giggled and tried to walk it back, like, not that I'd want to, it's just part of my past. I wanted to call it out right there, but we were with friends, so I let it slide. Later, I asked her about it. What is it with Dylan? Why would you pick that? She brushed it off. It's a silly game, Liam. Don't read into it. Then she pivoted the conversation. I didn't push, telling myself not to start a fight over something that might be small.
Still, it stuck with me.
After that, the shifts got harder to ignore. She was glued to her phone, smirking at texts. She started canceling plans with vague excuses. Sorry, tons of work tonight. Or, I promised my mom I'd visit. Nothing damning on its own, but it kept piling up. I felt like I was dropping down her priority list. Then came the Friday that changed everything. I got home early, excited for a chill night in, order food, binge a show. But the vibe was off. She sat on the couch with her laptop open, not actually working, just staring at the screen. Hey, I'm home, I said. You're early, she answered, like it was a problem. The silence was thick. Usually we'd swap stories about the day. Not this time. I finally asked if she was okay. She shut her laptop and said, there's something I need to talk to you about. My stomach dropped. You know that feeling when you sense a wreck coming but you can't move? That was me, standing there with a spatula like an idiot. I sat across from her. All right. What's going on? She paused, searching for the words, then just said it. I've been thinking about us. And Dylan. I almost laughed. Dylan? Seriously? What about him? She bit her lip, wouldn't meet my eyes. I think I need time to figure things out. I want to take a break and see if there's still something there with him. I couldn't believe it. A break to date your ex? We're engaged. She rushed to soften it. It's not like that. I just need to be sure I'm making the right choice. If it doesn't work out, I'll come back. That's when it landed how bold she was. She really thought I'd wait around while she decided if I made the cut. Something shifted in me right then.
I didn't yell.
I didn't blow up. I stared at her, wondering how I missed this. How do you respond when your fiancé says she wants time to explore her ex? I asked what a break meant to her. My voice sounded calmer than I felt. She straightened like she'd rehearsed. We need space. I'll see whether what I feel for Dylan is real. You can use the time to think about us too. Wait, so you date your ex and I sit here reflecting?
I said.
How does that make sense? She sighed, like I was being unreasonable. It's not about you doing anything wrong, Liam. It's about me figuring out what I need. The way she spoke, the way she avoided eye contact, it felt like a decision made, and she just wanted my compliance. You know this sounds absurd, right? You don't put your fiancé on pause to play what if with someone who treated you like trash. Her jaw tightened. I'm not asking for permission. I'm telling you what I need. That landed differently. Sadness gave way to anger. So, what? You're going to pack a bag and go to Dylan's? I asked. No, it's not like that. I just need clarity before we move forward. I owe it to myself. You owe it to yourself? And what about what you owe me? We're engaged. We're supposed to be building a life. Now you want to test drive your ex to confirm I'm a fit? I never said you weren't good enough, she said, voice rising. But if this is the rest of our lives, I have to be certain. And I'm not. That was the truth. She wasn't just curious about Dylan. She was unsure about me. For years in, and she still didn't know. She thought it was reasonable and that I'd simply wait while she sorted through whatever was going on in her head. I really looked at her then. You know what? Fine, I said evenly.
Take your break.
She blinked, surprised I agreed so fast. I'm not trying to hurt you, I just need space. If that's what you need, I said, keeping my face blank. She hesitated, waiting for me to fight. When I didn't, she grabbed her laptop. I'll stay at my mom's for a bit. This isn't forever. We'll talk after I've had time. Okay, I said. She looked torn, then went to pack. I sat on the couch, calm on the outside, brain already moving. If she wants a break, she can have one. A real one. The door closed. She probably imagined I'd sit and stew. She had no idea. I wasn't going to do nothing. She could chase her what if. I had my own plans. I'll update you once I set things in motion. This won't end how she expects. Update 1. Thanks for all the support and ideas after my first post. A ton happened this week. First, you were right. I didn't wait around. I got moving. I called my best friend Noah. We've been close since college, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything. He came over with pizza, heard me out, and we plotted. Dude, she'll try to crawl back when Dylan flames out, he said. He wasn't wrong. We realized I needed to be proactive. Not revenge, just taking back control. I started with the house. Tessa liked to act like it was ours, her curtain choices, paint colors, but the deed is in my name, and I pay the mortgage. I rang a realtor Monday. They toured, said the market's hot, and we listed immediately. Interest rolled in fast. Tessa has no idea. She probably thinks I'm sitting in our place waiting for her epiphany. Next, I slowly edited her out of my space. Those cheesy wall plaques she insisted on?
Gone.
The throw pillows she adored? Donated. The clothes and personal stuff she left? I boxed everything carefully, but here's where I got strategic. Instead of her picking it up or me dropping it at her mom's, I hired movers. They delivered it all with a short note. Here's your stuff. Good luck with Dylan.
Petty?
I disagree. Not spiteful, efficient. She wanted space to think. Now she has it, physically. Then came mutual friends. I didn't badmouth her. I just told the truth. Tessa wants to explore things with her ex before getting married. I decided I'm not anyone's backup plan. It's wild how fast the narrative corrects itself when you calmly state facts and don't chase rumors. I also made moves at work. I applied to a role at our West Coast office I'd been eyeing for ages. If the house sells, and it looks like it will, and I land the job, I'll start fresh across the country. Tessa started texting this week, light check-ins at first, then more anxious when she realized I wasn't frozen in place. When her mom told her the boxes arrived, she panicked. What are you doing? Why are you acting like it's over? My reply was simple. It is over, Tessa. You made your choice. I'm making mine. She cried, said she just wanted time to think, that I was moving too fast, that a break didn't mean break up. What did you expect? I asked. That I'd sit here like a loyal puppy while you test your ex? That's not how this works. But what if I realize you're who I want?
She sobbed.
Then you'll learn not to take people for granted, I said, and hung up. Weirdly, I'm not angry anymore. I feel free. Every box packed, every step taken feels like I'm reclaiming parts of myself I didn't know I'd given away. Noah helped me pack yesterday and noticed the change. You seem different, more focused, he said.
He's right.
When she first floated Dylan, it felt like my world cracked. Turns out it wasn't my world collapsing, it was a fake version I'd been living in finally crumbling. I've got more in motion, but I'll save it for the next update. For now, sometimes the best response to being treated like an option is to remove yourself from their options entirely.
Stay tuned.
I have a feeling her break isn't going to unfold how she imagined. Update to appreciate all the feedback on the last update. Things escalated. So here's what's new. Remember the West Coast roll? I got it. Timing couldn't be better. The house is under contract, closing next month. But it gets better. Through mutuals, I heard how the Dylan revisit is going. Spoiler. Not the romantic reboot she pictured. 4 years didn't change him, still the same untrustworthy guy who cheated in college. Meanwhile, Tessa has been trying to control the story online. Vague quotes about finding yourself and following your heart. I kept it simple with one factual life update. Excited to share I've accepted a position in San Francisco. When one door closes, better ones open. New chapter ahead. Comments flooded in, congrats, questions about the move, and of course, what about Tessa? I kept it honest and minimal. We're done. She wanted to explore other options, so I'm exploring mine too. That clarity shifted the whole social circle. Folks who were on the fence saw the difference between my straightforward updates and her cryptic posts. Then came professional fallout. Tessa's freelance gigs rely on referrals. Sarah, 29F, a mutual in tech who used to send clients her way, asked to meet. She said, Tessa's telling people it's a temporary separation for personal growth, but something's off. I showed her the exact message where Tessa asked for a break to check on Dylan. Sarah's face said everything. By week's end, several prospects paused their projects with Tessa. I didn't smear her. People just don't want to trust big commitments to someone who treats commitment loosely. Tessa felt the shift. Her texts ramped up. Why are you telling people about Dylan? You're ruining my reputation. This isn't fair. I replied, you got time and space. How I use mine isn't your concern anymore. Then the turning point. Dylan posted a photo of them at the restaurant where Tessa and I had our first date. She was trying to recreate our story with him. It didn't stay up long, but the damage was done. Friends saw it. The last few who bought her finding myself line lost respect. Even her sister reached out. I'm sorry for how she's handling this. You deserve better. Yesterday, Tessa came to my office. Dylan's mask already slipped, flirting with others, being shady. Same old story. She cried, I made a huge mistake. I was scared. I thought maybe there was something better, but I was wrong. You're the best thing that happened to me. I kept calm.
No, Tessa.
The best thing that happened to me was you showing me who you are before we married. She begged for counseling, promises to rebuild trust. I shook my head. You still don't get it. This isn't about Dylan anymore. It's about you thinking you could keep me on standby while you explored. That's not love. That's convenience. She left in tears. I felt lighter than ever. Closing is next week, most of my stuff is packed, and I start my San Francisco life in a month. Some say I'm being harsh. Everyone makes mistakes. But this wasn't a slip-up. It was a series of choices. Every time she texted him. Every time she lied about plans. Every minute she spent planning to put our life on hold. Choices. I'll check back after the move. For now, remember, sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even. It's getting better. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Update 3. Thanks for following along. Final update, with some wild twists. San Francisco is everything I hoped. My new place overlooks the bay. The tech scene is buzzing. My team's fantastic. It's refreshing being around people who value growth and innovation over drama. Back home, the closing went smoothly. We sold above asking. Tessa didn't believe it until she drove by and saw the new owners moving in. And then, plot twist, Dylan messaged me. He sent a long note saying he didn't mean to cause issues and that Tessa reached out first, months before she asked me for a break. She'd been laying the groundwork well in advance, messaging him and prepping her backup plan. The irony? Dylan ended it, saying if she could do that to me, she could do it to anyone. Work-wise, Tessa's hit a wall. Most of those clients found other designers, not because of anything I said. Word just travels. One major client even asked me for recommendations, saying they want someone who can commit to long-term projects after hearing about the engagement. I referred a talented designer I know. She landed the contract. Call it karma. On social, Tessa spiraled, sad quotes about loss, then angry posts about toxic people who can't handle growth. Then sudden sunshine posts about being thrilled and starting her own firm. 3 days later, she was applying for jobs. Her sister reached out again. Tessa's been staying with their parents, telling them she needs time to heal. Her sister said, "She really thought you'd wait." Selling the house and moving shattered that illusion. An old friend group called to catch up, and someone mentioned seeing Tessa at a coffee shop explaining to a potential client why her portfolio site was down. She forgot I set it up and handled the hosting. It expired and she couldn't restore it. Not my problem anymore. My new life is coming together. I joined a climbing gym, started Spanish lessons, and adopted a rescue dog named Zeus. Better company than my ex-fiancé ever was. The community here is welcoming. I was even invited to speak at a developer conference, an opportunity I'd have missed if I'd stayed put. Amazing what you can do when you're not dragging dead weight. One last exchange with Tessa. She emailed asking for photos from our shared cloud. I'd already saved what I wanted and shut down the account weeks ago. She wrote, "You can't just erase our memories. Those 4 years mattered." I replied, "You're right. They taught me what I don't want in a partner. Thanks for the lesson." A few mutuals think I'm too harsh and should be more forgiving of her moment of confusion. But it wasn't a moment. It was a calculated plan to keep me as a safety net while she chased something else. The biggest thing I've learned? Sometimes the worst thing that happens to you leads to the best outcomes. If she hadn't shown her true self, I might have married her and discovered this years later, maybe with kids involved. Instead, I'm in a great city, in a role I love, making new friends, and feeling hopeful. The hurt is gone, replaced by gratitude for the bullet dodged. Thanks to everyone who followed along and offered advice. Your support helped me stay steady when I could have wavered. And for anyone in a similar spot, hear this. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Don't wait for them to change their mind about you. Life's too short to be a backup plan. Sometimes the best move is to walk away and build something better for yourself. That's it for now, guys. This chapter is officially closed, and I'm excited for what's next. Take care, and thanks for everything. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do and tap the notification bell to keep up with more real-life stories like this.